This is Big Peas, and welcome to Big Peas in the podcast. We're on episode 5. Like I said before, thank you to everybody that's, tuned in on Apple Music, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Oh my God, what else? Pandora, some other apps that carry this podcast. And you know what? I just really appreciate it. I really appreciate all the people that's going on to YouTube and watch the videos. Like I said, there's a YouTube channel, Big Peas in the Podcast. Go on the YouTube channel, like and subscribe. A lot of the stuff I do on TikTok will end up on YouTube. Like I said, you can go to YouTube and follow me on. Go to TikTok. Follow me on TikTok. Hey, I'm everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, the Facebook page, Big Peas in the Podcast. I'm everywhere. I'm a little bit everywhere. So, thank you to all those people that have participated in the mailbag question of the week, which I didn't get to do one this week, and I didn't realize it till about 30 minutes ago. Mainly because, it's just been a hectic week. Really, it has. A lot going on, football-wise. A lot going on, personal life-wise. A lot just going on, period. But sorry about the mailbag question. I'll put the next one up tomorrow. I promise. Tomorrow's Labor Day, and as per tradition, and this is a tradition for me. I will be doing a Facebook Live. I call it, it's Labor Day Live. I do it every year. It's usually Labor Day night, right around 8 o'clock. I'll hop on and we'll rap about some things. We'll probably talk about this podcast and some other stuff tomorrow. So if you're so inclined and have a Facebook account, hop on Facebook and come see me. You can actually see my face. I'm pretty. That's actually my face on the cover, the actual title screen. That is my face. It's just animated. But I'm glad that I get these opportunities. One thing. Yesterday I was able to talk to a friend of mine that I haven't heard from in a while. He called me. I was out doing some things, and he gave me a phone call. Now, I'm not going to say his name because, that's not important. But he reminded me of something that just, that I'd totally forgotten about. And he made sure that I drove, to stick to what I know. And he told me that, don't get so caught up in trying to fit trends and everything else. Just do what you do, what you're passionate about. Get on there and do what you do. And you know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do. A lot of times when I'm on Facebook Live, I'm winging it. I don't have a script. I don't have a production notes. With this, it's a little bit more structured because, there's a time limit I have because I only got so much airtime before they start charging me for some other stuff. But, he just told me to stick to what I know. And, what I know is how to be funny, how to be genuine, and how to, and talk about sports and things of that nature. Speaking of sports, good God, what a weekend. College football came back Thursday. We had games on Thursday night. There was games on Friday night. There was games all day yesterday, and there was one game today. And let me tell you something. I just turned that thing off. That's why it's 11:30 right now. Usually I'm done with all this by no later than 11. But it's 11:30 right now, and I just got done because that game was incredible. And, LSU Florida State went down to the wire. 24-23 was the final. If you didn't watch it, it's going to be an instant classic. So ESPN Classic's probably going to have it on tomorrow. The North Carolina App State game yesterday. Good God, what a game. Oh, my God, that game was incredible. It was just incredible. App State put 46 points on the board in the fourth quarter. That's incredible. That's crazy. That's an indictment on North Carolina's defense, but God, it's great for the sport, great for the sport of football and college football as a whole to see games like that on a national stage. That was awesome. 10 years ago, App State wouldn't have been in a game like that, on a national stage, like that. It was just they've come a long way. They play Texas A&M this week, so maybe App State might just shock some people here coming down the road. Great game. Had a local kid, Caden Robinson. I went to school with his mama. So that was pretty awesome to see him make a catch and score. And he had a great game. He played a great game. And it was good to see. It was good to see that kid out there. I've refereed a few of his games from the time he was a termite all the way till he got through high school. At Christ School, I was reffing his games. So, it's always good to see a local kid make it. It does your heart good. Does your heart good. Now, moving into what I'm going to talk about. I'm almost going to kind of wing this because I was working on production notes and I was going to talk about something, but the something I was going to talk about, it just ain't me. It's not something I talk about, but I'm going to say this. Sometimes in life, you're going to meet somebody that's going to test you. And I'm not talking about test you like quiz you or something. I'm talking about test you. They're going to test everything about you. They're going to test your patience. They're going to test your will. They're going to test your heart. They're going to test your mind. And it's these people are put in your life for a reason. And it's to teach you things about yourself. And I'm not saying that these people are bad. I'm saying these people aren't necessarily the best, but they are necessary. Because guess what? Life without a challenge isn't life. If life was easy, everybody would live forever. That's just how it is. I learned some things from people. I've learned things from people you never thought you'd learn something from. I make this statement very, 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 very often that your educational background has very little to do with your amount of knowledge you have, because knowledge isn't just obtained by education. No, it's not. I know people that hadn't gone to college that are smarter than any college graduate I know. And that's just because they live life, they experience life. I don't have a degree per se, but I'm a very intelligent person, And that's just where I'm going with this. Some people are put here to test you. And it's those people that a lot of people look at as, the assholes, the jackasses, but these are your friends still, but they're put here to test you. If you've got a bunch of yes men in your group, I suggest you find somebody else, because yes men won't challenge you. You need someone that's going to challenge you in your group, in your friend group. I've got several. I've got a few friends like that will challenge me at every turn. And they don't do it to be mean. They do it to keep me on my toes, because it's easy to get complacent in anything. Your relationships, your job, your life. You can get complacent. And when you get complacent, hey, things don't go the way you want them to. Because you get complacent, you get lazy. When you get lazy, shit happens. And you never want shit just to happen. You just want, you kind of want, you want life to have a ebb and flow, but you also don't want life to be a series of downfalls. So you don't get complacent. You stay on your toes. You got to have people that challenge you. And that's just what I have. People that test you. And not because you have to have somebody that goes against you all the time. No, because iron sharpens iron. And to stay sharp, you got to have somebody that can grind against you every now and then. And like I said, I've got several people that will grind against me and they keep me sharp. They show me things. And it's great. A lot of people's like, they only want people that's going to tell them what they want to hear all the time. I've got friends that will tell me in a heartbeat if I did something stupid. And those are the friends I love. Had to take a drink there. Like I said, just have somebody to challenge you. Now this next part, this is something that I didn't really think about. And this is something that my friend told me yesterday. And he said, if there's anybody that's around you that isn't supporting your dream, then you need to get those people away from you. And I had to think about that. Now, what I'm about to say doesn't apply to many of my friends. And I, like I said, many. Now, when I say this, I mean this with the utmost love and respect. A lot of people want to see you succeed, but they don't want to see you succeed to a point. A lot of people will listen to this podcast, but they won't share it. They won't rate it because they don't want to see me get to a certain point, or they won't see you get to a certain point. A lot of people will tell you, hey, great job, you're doing great, man. Oh, man, love the podcast, but never listen to an episode. And there's a reason for that. They don't want to see you make it per se. Not make it. They don't want to see you make it further than they are. And there's people like that all in your friend group. You just don't know it. You don't see it because, they smile in your face. They're chameleons. They don't want you to do better than them. They don't. And I'm just saying, using this as an example, they don't want you to succeed. They don't want you to get a national sponsor. They don't want you to get 10,000 downloads a week. They don't want you to do that. You know why they don't want you to do that? They don't want you to do that because they don't want you to be better than them. Because, they have a fear of your success. Then you also have people in your group that don't vocally support you, but they mentally support you. Now, and when I tell you that, when I tell you this, now I want you to listen to me. To see, how can you mentally support somebody? Listen to me. You're gonna have people in your group that just, they're not, pep talks and pats on the back aren't their thing. That's not everybody. I'm one of these people. Hey, I'll stand up and clap for you, pat you on the back, hype you up to everybody. That's what I do. I told a friend of mine Friday, I brag on them all the time because I'm proud of them. And when you're proud of somebody, you tell people. And that's just something I do. But there's some friends I have, and I'm not, like I said, don't name names, but there's friends I have that they don't brag on me. They don't go around telling everybody about me, but they are always there when I need them to be. They listen to it. They may, it may be like this is 5 episodes in. The first episode, everybody and their mama was coming at me. Second episode, it dwindled down. But this last episode, this was like I said, it was a rough one for me. But in the same regard, there's 2 people that have talked to me every week and have given me positive and a little negative input. Those are the people I'm talking about. And they don't share it. They don't, one person ain't even on Facebook. I got this information through an email. But they always talk to me after every episode. Hey, great episode. Or, hey, you sound, and that's what I mean. It sounded a little rough last week. Say, hey, you sound a little down. Are you okay? And things like that. That's what you need in life. Those are the people you need. You don't need the people that's always gonna cheer. Those are great. Don't get me wrong. I'm kind of vain. I like to be praised. That's a great thing for me. But it's good to have somebody that's gonna come in there and say, hey, you sound a little off. What's going on? Talk to me. Tell me about it. And that's where I'm going with this next piece. You're going to have people in your life that, you care a great deal about. But those are people, and even though you care a great deal about them, you don't never talk to them about any of your personal business. And it's not because you don't love them and you don't trust them with the information because, like I said, this is your friend. But everybody has a friend or an acquaintance or somebody they deal with that if you try to tell them something that's going on in your life, they will take over the story from you or try to one-up you. Or as my friend Kieran says, a Mr. Me Too. I have a friend that anytime I want to talk about a problem I have, it turns into their problem. And I mean, it's like instantly. I can get out one sentence, and then the next thing you know, it's about them and what they're going through. I mean, it's all well and good. I don't mind to listen. I've always been a person that listens. But, every great now and again, good Lord, that just sounded horrible. Every great now and again, you want to get your shit out too. And some people just aren't good listeners. They aren't. They don't want to listen. I have a friend, and God bless her. I love her to death. I will listen to any problem she has, dating wise, anything she wants to talk about, I'll talk about with it. But I remember one time I went to her for some advice, and oh my God, at least she admitted it to me. I'm not great with advice. I'm not great about listening. And hey, that's all well and good. That's okay. And that's when I knew, hey, you can't go talk to her when you're having issues. She's good. She's a good friend to, when you want to buy something nice for your spouse or, somebody else. And she's great for that. But if you have a problem, you don't want to go to this person at all, because like I said, she's not great with it. She doesn't know how to act, when somebody's griping or bitching or, complaining around her, because then she turns into, why are you bitching? Cheer up or buck up, stuff like that. But it's just, it's just, you gotta know who you're talking to sometimes. And she's just one of them people. But oh my God, there's people that just, like I said, they take over everything, and it's, you almost want to cuss them out sometimes. And sometimes I have actually gone off on a few people for, like, hey, weren't we just talking about something I wanted to talk about? And how did this turn into your problem? Or how is your problem bigger than mine? Or what does this have to do with me? You see what I'm saying? And there's people like that out there. And, I'm not saying you have to get rid of these people and throw them out of your life, but, there's people out there like that. You just got to know who you're talking to at all times. Some people just ain't the person you go to when you got a problem. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. You got to have everybody has their people. You have your hype friend. That for me, that's Scooter. He's my hype friend. You got to have your loyal friend. That's Shaq. The most loyal friend I've ever had in my life. I've known him since second grade. This dude will jump over a bridge for me. You got to have a friend like that. Then you got to have your supportive friends, like, my friend Amanda. You got to have friends that just, they're always there with great advice and a sharp wit, and just they kind of keep you grounded. And then you got to have your friends that take care of you. That's Amy. Amy is the kids love Amy, because Amy's the caregiver. She's the caretaker, and that's what she does. She's always buying stuff, and, do you need this and do you need that? And that's just the type of friend. She's always been like that. She's been like that with all her friends. And if you know her, that's just who she is. And, you gotta have friends like that too. And then, like I said at the beginning, you gotta have friends that step up and challenge you not at every turn, but just challenge you, period. And if you don't have friends like that, then you better find you some, because those are the ones that keep you sharp. All in all, though, it's good to have people around you that support you. It's good to have people around you that can push you, because I'm telling you, the ones that don't clap when you make it are the ones you got to get rid of. And I'm going to tell you this story. And I put this on Facebook the other day. And so if you know this story, you know what I'm getting ready to say. Around about 2005, stepdaughter, Beth, it was 2006. I'm going to say about 2006, because the kid was already born. And she was having issues with some friends and where to go from there. And I looked at her and I said, and I told her something my daddy told me. My daddy told me years ago. I said, listen, when you have a problem with your friends and you're wanting to go in a direction and your friends aren't supporting that, that's when it comes time to shake the tree. So, why you shake the tree? You shake the tree to shake all the dead leaves and dead fruit out of the tree. The tree and the leaves and the fruit that remain are meant to be. Everything that falls to the ground is cast away. And that's something my daddy told me. And that's what I told her. You got to shake your tree. And, I've had to shake my tree a few times in life. I have. And thank God I shook my tree, because there's been several times in my life I was headed down a very, 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 very bad road. And had I not shaken the tree, I'd probably be in prison right now, or have way more kids than I should have. I'm just saying, sometimes you got to shake your tree. You got to get rid of what's not supposed to be there. Also when you shake your tree, that shakes out the squirrels and everything else, things that don't need to be there, the things that eat your fruit. You want your fruit to grow. You want your fruit to flourish. And sometimes you got to shake your tree to do that. And that's what I mean by shake your tree. Please shake your tree. Get rid of the excess baggage. Get rid of the dead weight. Get rid of the friends that don't support you. And I mean that. If they don't support you, if they don't clap for you, if they don't push you to be better, then they ain't your friends. If they're trying to hold you down, then they ain't your friends. I've had so many friends, or not even friends, just people I know, that have made decisions in life that have cost them their personal freedom, meaning they went to prison, or they lost time by being in the system. And let me tell you something. I've never been incarcerated, so I couldn't begin to tell you how that feels or how that affects the brain. But I've talked to enough people to know that the main reason a lot of people get out of jail and go back to jail is because they come back and they get around the same thing they were doing. They get around the same people they hung out with before. In other words, they go to prison, but they don't shake their tree before they come back. You got to shake your tree, because some of the people you come back to, they didn't care you was in prison. They kept on doing what the hell they wanted to do. It's like I told my nephew, them kids don't care if you get in trouble, because they're gonna still be hanging out and doing what they're doing, whether you're there or not. That's why you got to get around a group of people that's going somewhere, that's doing things. If your friends aren't talking about success or progress, then find you another group of friends. And that's the word right there. My friends talk about doing things. My friends talk about going places. My friends talk about starting businesses, making money. I got friends that, man, I'm so proud of some of my friends right now. They're going out and they're starting their own businesses. Everybody and their mama's buying a dump truck right now. More power to you. And I'm proud of every last one of y'all. Make that money, because I'm telling you something. Some of these cats is making some real dough driving these dump trucks. I got friends that starting up, food trucks, nursing services. This is what I'm talking about. Get you friends like that push you to achieve something better, or get you some friends that want to bring you along. And I mean that. Get you some friends that want to bring you along with them, want to give you a part of that success. Because I'm telling you, the success will breed some envy, but success can also sprout some growth, because you can bring people along. And even in me doing this, I've got friends that support this and have helped me behind the scenes, that if the time comes and everything and this thing flourishes like I solely believe it will, then they're going to be brought along, because they started in on the ground floor with me. We got it from the mud, as we like to say. And that's just those are the people you look out for. Those are the people you kind of have to look out for. But these are the same people I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, they're not just sitting there riding my coattails to success. No, they've got dreams of their own. They've got things that they're doing too. And when they make success, they're going to try to bring me along. So we're going to help each other. We're going to form a network. You see what I'm saying? Get you friends that talk like that. If you need a friend that talks like that, come holler at me, because I'm all about success. I want to see everybody make it. At the end of the day, for every single person I know, I want to stand up and clap. I want to see everybody make it. I'm the guy that will cheer for the person I can't stand if they make it. I want to see everybody make it. I don't want to see anybody suffer, struggle, or fall by the wayside. But in the same right, I'm not gonna feel sorry for you if you didn't put the effort in. You got to put forth some effort. That's just how it works. Well, we're to the part of the show that I like to call the conclusion. And usually this is when the mailbag question comes out. But since I didn't put one up, we're going to talk about something we're going to talk about something a little different. I may even just tell you what this week's mailbag question is going to be. We've talked about music and relationships and everything else, but this week's mailbag question is going to entail some other things. You know what? I'm going to save it. I really want to just get back to the whole thanking everybody. How to get in contact with me is BigPeasandPodcast@gmail.com. Drop me a line. Give me some suggestions. Tell me something I can talk about. Give me a topic. Like I said, I'll talk about anything as long as it ain't politics or religion. Don't do either one of those. You don't do politics, but you ran for public office, Carl. Yeah, I know. Shut up. Oh, you ain't got to bring that up. We ain't going to talk about that ass whooping I took. But anyway, anything I talk about, we can talk about anything. If you want to come and sit down and chop it up with me live on the podcast, get at me. BigPeasandPodcast@gmail.com. I'm not giving out my phone number. If you hit me in the email and you're serious about what I'm saying, just, I can always call you. But, reach out to me on Facebook, BigPeas and the Podcast on Facebook. You can go to the YouTube channel, BigPeas and the Podcast on YouTube. All the videos are there, except for last week's. I'm sorry, I didn't hit record. Like I said, it was just a bad week, and that was a bad night. Christy had COVID at the time, so it was kind of last Sunday was a little rough. So. And my mind really wasn't in it. And like I said, part of me really didn't even want to do it, but I made a dedication. I told everybody that this is what I was going to do every Sunday, and I'm going to stay true to that. So, but please go on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to this, rate, comment, give suggestions. I don't care what you do. Just support the podcast. That's what we want. Just support. And as long as you support, I'm always going to be here for you. Like I said, reach out, get in contact with me. Like I said, all those friends I was talking about that's got their own little businesses and stuff, holler at me. I can advertise for you. We can talk about some cheap labor here. I ain't talking about free, but I'm talking about cheap. I just got a few things I need to pay for. Just a few things. I ain't out here begging for money. I ain't panhandling. But hey, I got a few things I like to pay for. Well, looks like my 30 minutes might just be up. I'd like to thank everybody once again for listening. BigPeas and the Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, Pandora. Oh my God, I'm everywhere. Peas is everywhere. Facebook, Instagram. I'm everywhere. Get at me. We'll talk about it. And until next time, much love. This your boy Peas, signing off. Peace.